Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the November 15th, 2021 meeting of the Revere City Council. All rise and salute the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of the members. Councilor Janino.
Here.
Here, Councilor Guanasso.
Here.
Here, Councilor Keefe.
Here.
Here, Councilor McKenna.
Here.
Here, Councilor Morabito.
Here.
Here, Councilor Novoselsky.
Here.
Here, Councilor Powers.
Here.
Here, Councilor Rotundo.
Present.
Here, Councilor Sereno.
Here.
Here, Councilor Visconti.
Here.
Here, and Council President Zambudo.
Here.
Here, a quorum is present. Calendar item number 2, approval of the journal of the regular meeting of November 8th, 2021.
So moved, Mr. President. All in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Public hearings, calendar item number 3, hearing called is ordered on the application of T-Mobile Northeast, 15 Commerce Way, Norton, Mass., seeking permission from the Revere City Council to install a wireless communications facility to include 9 rooftop-mounted antennas and related equipment at 385 Broadway.
This is a public hearing. Proponents, people in favor, please come to the podium. Name and address for the record, please.
Thank you, sir. Adam Braillard of Prince Lobel Thai. We're at One International Place in Boston, Massachusetts, here on behalf of the applicant T-Mobile Northeast LLC. With me tonight is Ryan Ramos. Ryan is with T-Mobile's radio frequency department, or RF department. Next to Ryan is Mark Cretion. Mark is with Advanced Engineering Group, which is the engineering firm of record for the application. And next to Mark is Peter Cook. Peter's with Wellman and Associates. Wellman is the site acquisition specialist group that is involved with acquiring the property for the use.
Great.
So we're here, Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the, Mr. President, I'm sorry, on behalf of the applicant for a special permit before the council to install and operate a wireless macro telecommunications facility on the rooftop of the building. It's located at 385 Broadway. It's within the commercial business zoning district and subject to or pursuant to section 1716 110 of the city's ordinance. The commercial use, the commercial business zoning district allows for wireless communications facilities subject to a special permit. We've submitted a pretty comprehensive application package to the board. To the council, and I'm hoping that everyone got a chance to take a look at that. We also submitted a supplemental package last week, and what I'd like to do is just kind of briefly go through the need and the proposal, and then if the council has questions, we're all here to
Well,
answer.
if you can do it briefly, that's
Sure,
fine,
sure.
because this has to go by law, it has to go to the subcommittee.
Okay.
So
Okay.
most of that we'll try to take care of in subcommittee, but if you want to give a brief presentation, go right ahead.
Sure. So the proposal, I'll skip right to what we're proposing to do is, so like I said, the 385 Broadway, we're proposing to install 9 panel antennas in 2 sections within what we call faux penthouses. So the antennas will be concealed behind these fake penthouses that will match the color and texture of the building, similar to the building across the street. Those are like fake chimneys, so these will be a little bit bigger than that, but will match the color and texture. There'll be conduit running inside the building to the basement where we'll have the brains of the equipment, radio, the cabinetry, and then we're proposing the generator on the outside next to an existing generator, which will be concealed or camouflaged by evergreen. So the entire facility will look like 2 new fake penthouses, or 2 new real penthouses on the rooftop, and then a generator on the outside. And that's really all you're going to see. That's the really the presentation for now. There is the radio frequency department did run a analysis of the town, the city in general, and specifically from this location. And because of capacity challenges and issues with surrounding locations, there's a significant need to fulfill that capacity. And we believe that this site will do that. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other proponents, people in favor? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close that side of the hearing. Any opponents, people opposed? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close that side of the hearing. Councilors, what's that? Oh, I apologize. Didn't see you. You gotta act.
He's quick.
Name and address for the record, please. Hit it again. There you go.
My name is Eleanor Raffa. I live at 20B Central Ave, which is directly across the street from the bank, and I do have some concerns and questions. My biggest concern is the noise that it would be made if these are generators. Are there going to be lots of humming and noises that are going to be coming from there? We live there right now. We have the ATM, and it's very loud, and I'm already concerned about noise level. And he talked about what it looked like. I'm not so concerned about the look. My concern is noise vibrations. If they vibrate, my house shakes when the buses go by and when the fire trucks go by and big trucks that go up and down. So my major concerns are noise, vibration, and I know there are also some health concerns. I don't know if those are addressed.
There's no health concerns.
Just putting those out there, but those are my concerns.
All right, well, so if we don't get you your answer on the noise, we'll get it in subcommittee next week. However, I'll allow the proponent to try to answer that if he wants to.
Sure. I might rely on somebody who's a lot smarter than me on that one, if you
Okay,
wouldn't mind.
whoever you want. You got some smart people here. Step to the podium, please.
The generator will produce approximately 85 decibels of sound. It's usually concealed within a sound attenuation fence. I don't think it's the case here. It's directly adjacent to an existing generator, and it only goes off once a month for maybe an hour as a test run. When the power is out, it'll run indefinitely, but it just sounds really once a month for about an hour.
Okay, thank you. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Any other opponents? And we'll close that side of the hearing again. City councilors. Council McKenna.
Thank you. Adam, can I ask you a question, please? With this small group of antennas, is there going to be 5Gs up on the roof?
So the quick answer is yes. So any upgrades or, for the most part, any new facilities that the applicant or most of the carriers are doing now are 5G compatible. For T-Mobile's proposal, what that consists of it's simply what's already existing by way of technology. 5G stands for fifth generation, as I'm sure you know.
Right.
So what the technology is it's taking existing technology, which is T-Mobile's 600 megahertz, right, 600 and 700, and also Sprint's 2.5 megahertz ranges, and including that together in this facility. So 600/700 megahertz range is similar to television radio frequency waves that have been around for decades. The 2.5 megahertz spectrum is similar to the Sprint. The 2.5 is from Sprint. That's been around for about a decade. So we're just taking the applicant's taken those that technology and including it in this proposal. So that's what we're calling the definition of 5G for these purposes.
Okay. I'd like to say something.
Go right ahead.
Thank you. Mixed data presented on the studies of 5Gs, harmful or not to human beings in nature, of microwave frequencies that come from these antennas, have still not convinced me that these antennas are safe. It is with a clear conscience that I cannot vote for anything like this when the evidence is not conclusive. In 5 years, if the data comes out with a confirmed study that says 5Gs are dangerous to a person's health, I know I made the right decision moving forward and not voting for these antennas dispersed throughout our neighborhoods. Thanks.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Keefe?
Thank you, Mr. President. My curiosity was because I had spoken to Ms. Raffa about the noise, and you answered some of it with it seems like it's a backup generator going off only once a month. I think that seems reasonable, but the location in the it's in the parking lot, correct? The generator?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is it now, so if you, Ms. Raffa lives on the opposite side of Central Ave from where the proposals, this is the far right corner of the parking lot if you're walking out of the back of the building?
This would be, I think if you're walking out of the back of the building and you took a left, like you're walking toward center.
Oh, okay,
Street.
okay, so it's up in the front there.
Right.
All right.
Right next to the existing generator there.
And then, of course, I was at least appreciative of everything being on the roof, and I know that they do a good job of trying to make it look like it belongs there. You know, we do have these on our rooftops across Revere, as you know, people do want cell service, but I do have some similar concerns to Council McKenna, but I'll save that for the subcommittee. Thank you.
Counselor Rotundo?
Thank you. I would actually like to speak to the frequency, the engine. Thank you, Mr. Ramos. Hi. What is the EMF on that?
Let me just introduce myself. My name is Ryan Monte Ramos. I'm the Senior Radio Frequency Engineer representing T-Mobile, 10 Commerce Way, Norton, Massachusetts. I don't have the specific, are you talking about the, with regards
That
to
is
the,
registered, that's been studied in Europe as well as the NIH, as well as any type of radio frequency given off by 5G. So that's the concern, considering that we have a school literally 300 feet from there. So I'm just trying to figure out, what's the emission there, and considering that there is a concern regarding the health effects of EMF, and knowing that it does produce a measure of EMF from this particular 700 megahertz, as well as 600, if I'm not mistaken. So knowing that, knowing the expansion and having that information would give us a better understanding. So being in the healthcare field, knowing that we do use, frequency in order to ablate hearts and so forth, of that nature, I'd like to have that information. Thank you.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I just want to ask quick, have we done the EME study for this particular site or haven't yet? Oh, we have the EME report. We don't have it yet. Okay. So in certain sites, or not certain, but most sites that we do, we usually run an EME study, which basically calculates the spectral efficiency and also the maximum power in full loading of all the antenna. We usually take the worst case scenario
Right.
and how much emission it will create depending on the location of the antenna, and also if the environment is, if it's a controlled rooftop, accessible to the people, public. So I don't have the specific calculations for that, but we usually run it with a separate third party, not T-Mobile, to provide those EME calculation study. And based on that study that they will conduct, they will provide signages if needed. What are the areas that need to be controlled? Specifically, we usually do this specifically for the T-Mobile technicians so that they know where the safe area are for them. But usually most of the rooftop sites that we do in Boston usually passes the EME study that we provide.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, thank you.
Council Vice President Visconti?
Thank you, Mr. President. Will we have that study prior to zoning?
Yeah, I'm going to request a study, yes.
Anybody else? In addition to what you just said, you never exceed the allotted amount, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
as far as like the FCC guidelines,
Right.
that's our gauge.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I knew the answer to the question, but I had to ask.
Calendar item number 4, hearing called is ordered on the application of Wellness Connection Massachusetts and Gunner Holding LLC, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to revise and change the original site plan and the special permit conditions in the notice of decision, application number C-1512, Council Order 15258, granted on December 7, 2015, and seeking permission to operate a commercial parking lot for the purpose of storing or parking automobiles, buses, or trucks available to the public generally on a daily basis at 44 Railroad Street.
This is a public hearing. Proponents.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the council. My name is Attorney Larry Simeoni. I represent Wellness Connection of Massachusetts and Gunner Holding LLC this evening before you. These applicants seek a special permit, one, to alter and change and revise the existing and original special permit granted on the original 2015 site plan special permit decision. We've asked for these alterations and changes in accordance with 1748-100. We're also asking to operate a commercial parking lot in accordance with 1708-572. The locus is 30/44 Railroad Street. It's in the Technological Enterprise District. It's Lot A, 101,787 square feet. The lot has 100-foot of frontage on Railroad Street. The lot currently is improved by a Building A, which is a multi-use, non-conforming structure. The proposal is pretty straightforward, and we've outlined it in detail in our application with various exhibits. The applicants seek to modify the original site plan marked Exhibit D in your package that was given and awarded on December 7th, 2015 by this honorable body when it granted a special permit at that time. At this point, we're asking that in accordance with 1748-100B and our proposed Exhibit A, which is a revised site plan, drafted and prepared by Engineering Alliance on September 27, 2001, and attached as Exhibit A in our application. We've shown some changes that we'd like to make to that original site plan. These modifications and changes to the original site plan emanate out of industrial changes in the way things are doing business today, as opposed to what we thought was going to happen in 2015. There's technological advances that have basically made it more economical for us to make these changes while at the same time moving forward with the business that the special permit was granted. And footnote number 9, I present to you the changes that were actually being made. Just to give an example, one particular change is that we will not be building a Building B, a cultivation center. We're going to reduce the cultivation center from 39,700 to 4,290. Similarly, also, that particular site plan came with special permit conditions, which I've outlined in the application. We've asked that some of those conditions be modified as well. An example would be that in special permit condition number 6, they wanted fencing and around the perimeter of the property, and that was because years ago there was this idea that we were going to have some serious security issues. Now we've seen as the years go by that that's no longer, something of concern. There are now many cannabis sales locations that have no security fencing and so forth, and so therefore we're asking to modify that particular section and the other ones as well. Ultimately, the modifications to the original site plan, we had 88 off-street parking spaces on the original site plan. By making the modifications as we propose, we will only need 30 spaces, but we're offering 39 off-street parking spaces for the facility, which would leave us the remaining area for the operation of a park and fly. It ends up being 220 spaces for park and fly, reducing our existing from 88 spaces that was originally asked for, and now we only need 39. We're ready to go forward to the zoning subcommittee, Mr. Chairman. I expect at that subcommittee meeting that I will have Rick Salvo from Engineering Alliance to go and answer any detailed questions about the original site plan and the changes proposed in Exhibit A, the revised site plan. And we also anticipate having a traffic study prepared for the subcommittee to review as well. I'll answer any other questions you or the body have and ask this matter to go to zoning subcommittee.
Thank you. Any other proponents? People in favor? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close that side of the hearing. Opponents? People opposed? Name and address for the record.
Good evening. Bradley Croft, Attorney Bradley Croft from Roberto Israel and Weiner, 255 State Street in Boston. I'm here representing Durant Performance Coatings as well as Burbank Realty Trust. These are direct abutters of the proposed project. Just as a matter of clarification, it's my understanding that there's not a vote tonight, that this will proceed to zoning, at which
That
point...
is correct. There cannot be a vote after a public hearing. So it automatically goes to zoning, which will be on the 22nd of November.
Okay. And at that point, to the extent that we have a traffic study to review, we would
Right.
have an opportunity to respond?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So just as a general matter, the Park and Fly is currently operating on the site. There is, has been for months without a permit. There is a easement which my clients enjoy, which go from Railroad Street to this Park and Fly lot, which would be at the rear of the project. The issue that this project is proposing, among others, is interference with that easement right, and also with obstructing the business. With my client's business, there are 18-wheelers who need to access loading docks. The Park and Fly, the way that it's currently being operated, is cars park on my client's property, and within the easement, shuttle drops them off, drops the people to go to the airport. They load up in the shuttle, and then the cars are transferred to the back of the lot. This is creating a lot of obstruction, a lot of bottleneck.
I think you got to save some of this for the zoning
Sure.
subcommittee.
I just wanted to give you
don't want to
a-
get into a
Appreciate it.
but that's the place for it, is the zoning subcommittee.
Fair enough.
Any other things you want to bring up quickly?
Not necessarily. Again, it's just to give a flavor of some of the
Yeah, I
issues
get
that
you.
are...
We get it. And
Okay. The last thing I would say is that we did offer a traffic study which shows 522 car trips per day. So I'm very eager to see the traffic study, which is going to be offered, and consider it. And if we have concerns, we'll take it up with zoning.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other opponents? People opposed? Hearing and seeing none of them, no more of them, we will close that side of the hearing. Any councilors? Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is in my ward. I don't see a problem with this. I just heard from the attorney, but the lot is hidden from the public. I mean, there's no residents that are affected by this. I understand that there's businesses, a couple of businesses down there, and there are 8-wheelers, whatever, 16-wheelers that go by, but I just don't see a problem with this. It's hidden from the public. You only can see it from the Winthrop Ave. It's a big lot, and if it's going to give revenue to the city, I'm in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Rotundo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess the first thing I would ask is that you ask, the United family to clean up their part of the property, because it is a mess. I have been down there. I have actually looked at it going through Railroad. That easement that you talk about, there were other businesses there in the past. So that would be helpful. Thank you.
Anyone else? Zoning.
Next up is the Legislative Affairs Subcommittee report.
Chairman Morabito.
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier, the Legislative Affairs Subcommittee met. We had 3 items on the agenda. First item was an ordinance establishing regulations for sustainable foodware and packaging. That was voted out favorably, so if we can take a roll call by the City Council as a whole, as amended as well. So it was voted favorably as amended.
Madam Clerk? Oh. Audit on a second reading as amended. All in favor, all opposed, so voted. Audit on a third and final reading as amended. All in favor, all opposed. Audit on roll call for endorsement and ordainment.
Shall the-
Forgive me.
Shall
Having
the
a
City
tough night.
Council approve an ordinance establishing regulations for sustainable foodware and packaging as amended? Counselor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Bonasso.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Powers.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Rotundo.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. This ordinance is engrossed and ordained.
Mr. President? May I ask for
Counselor
a
Janino.
suspension of rules in order to take up reconsideration with hopes that it does not prevail?
On suspension of the rules, all in favor, all opposed, so ordered.
Thank you, guys.
Reconsideration on the hopes it will not prevail, on favor. So ordered.
I learned that trick from you. Thank you, Mr. President.
The following 2 items on the agenda were withdrawn by the maker of the motion. A motion to have the solicitor draft an ordinance and fee schedule for autonomous driven vehicles. That was withdrawn. Also, a motion that was withdrawn was to have every public meeting conducted by a board, council, or commission, and any group meeting in the city of Revere, council chambers, begin all meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. That was withdrawn. But in order, a motion was created to have a recommendation by the City Council offered by Councilor Sereno and Rotundo that the City Council recommends that every chair offer the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of every meeting. Is that right, Madam Clerk?
That was voted out favorably, correct?
Correct, that was
Okay.
voted out favorably. I just wanted to make sure I had the wording correctly. Please, if you can read it.
Yeah.
So the motion that was reported out favorably by the Legislative Affairs Committee, this was a motion presented by Councilor Sereno and Rotundo, that the City Council go on record in that it is recommended in best practice that all boards and commissions begin each meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
On the motion, all in favor, all opposed, so ordered.
Mr. President, are we under suspension of rules? If not, could we take this up in order that it does not, reconsideration in order that it does not prevail?
Reconsideration does not prevail.
And Mr. President, there were no further business in legislative.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next up is the Public Safety Subcommittee report.
Madam Chair. Councilor Janino?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Earlier this evening, the City of Revere's City Council Public Safety Subcommittee met. We had one item on our agenda, and that was a motion by Councilor Morabito. And this was a motion regarding the Traffic Commission to look into launching its Slow Streets pilot program in the City of Revere to slow down drivers by introducing speed tables, speed bumps, crosswalks, signage, and bollards to help curb the excessive speeding on cut-through streets, especially on streets nearby schools and city recreational spaces. That's a mouthful, Counselor. It went through the committee unanimously. We had some great discussion on it, and I asked that it be taken up before you this evening, as it was recommended to the council of a whole favorably unanimously. Thank you.
On the motion, all in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Mr. President,
Councilor Rotundo.
as we're under suspension of rules, I would like to offer a motion to have an audit of the Revere census process by the state auditor, considering that we've now found 67 people at Atlas Auto Body. I'm requesting a vote on this, and Madam Clerk, the actual measure is that we have an audit on the vendors, the process, and those that were involved in it, because this is a very serious issue where we have both state and federal monies that will reflect this census, and if this census is improper in any way, it would cause us great harm.
Who's going to conduct the audit, sir? State auditor, okay.
Madam Clerk, can I just ask a question of clarification? Can I vote
Yeah.
on that if it goes to the state auditor?
I believe you can, but
Just a
I'm not a
kind of a gray
professional.
one.
I,
Yeah, probably not. I'm gonna recuse myself just to be safe.
Councilor Keefe,
Mr. President, first of all, what I heard this evening, I wasn't very pleased with either. However, I just heard about it within the last hour. We're going to be meeting next week. If we find that, in fact, that's what it states, then I would be 100% in favor of it. But, I don't really feel comfortable requesting an all-out audit, finding out something an hour and a half ago, without really being able to do research. And so, again, do I like the fact, hearing what I heard from Council Novoselsky earlier? Absolutely not. And it makes me really disappointed that this process could be flawed like that. But we are going to have a meeting next Monday. I mean, I think this could potentially.
no, we're going to have a meeting Thursday with the re-precincting
Correct.
Committee.
So we'll get some more information, but we're
here's
having
what
a
I
council,
see-
we're
let me
having a
interrupt
council
you.
meeting Monday, the 22nd.
Yeah, let me interrupt you. Suppose we vote to ask the state auditor to conduct an audit contingent on what happens Thursday. How's that? That way, if we get some clarifying information that makes us feel better, then we won't go forward with the audit. Everybody good with that? Yeah, in other words, if somebody clears up how we could possibly have 67 people in Atlas Auto Body, then I'll be willing to withdraw this audit. But for now, I'm looking to go forward. On the motion, roll call.
Do you want me to? Yeah.
Please do.
On an oral motion presented by Councilor Rotundo, that the mayor request the state auditor to investigate the vendors, process, and those involved with conducting the U.S. Census in the city of Revere, contingent upon any clarification presented at the next committee of the whole meeting on November 18th at 6 p.m. Councilor Janino is recused. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Rotundo.
yes.
Yes, Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, and Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the verbal motion has been approved.
Mr. President, may we take this up as we're under suspension of rules, if we may
Yeah.
take it under reconsideration in hopes that it does not prevail.
Okay. On reconsideration, hopes it does not prevail.
Next up is the zoning subcommittee report.
Chairman Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight, we had 3 items in front of us in a very expeditious zoning subcommittee meeting. All 3 items were voted on favorably, so I would ask that the city council took them up as a whole. Thank you. Individually as a whole.
So the first is a petition by Victoria Scaramuzzo and Johnny Peguero to discontinue and abandon a certain portion of Italia Avenue as illustrated on the petitioner's plan. That received a favorable recommendation from the committee.
Roll call.
Shall the City Council discontinue and abandon a certain portion of Italia Avenue as illustrated on the petitioner's plan? Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido. Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers. Yes. Councilor Rotundo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, this certain portion has been discontinued and abandoned. Next item is the special permit to reconstruct a nonconforming structure to enable the City of Revere to construct the new Public Works Building at 321A Charger Street.
Roll call.
Shall the City Council grant the relief requested? Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Rotundo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes. Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the special permit has been granted. And lastly, on the zoning subcommittee report is an ordinance amendment relative to non-domesticated animals.
Audit on a second reading, all in favor, all opposed. So voted. Audit on a third and final reading, all in favor, all opposed. Roll call for engrossment and ordainment.
Shall the City Council approve an ordinance further amending regulations relative to non-domesticated animals? Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Rotundo.
Absolutely.
Yes. Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the ordinance is engrossed and ordained. In accordance with Rule 23 of the City Council Rules of Order, the following motions are reported out of committee with a recommendation to be placed on file. These are calendar items number 12 through 16.
Placed, Councilor McKenna.
Thank
have an
you.
objection?
Can I take 14, not 14, wait a minute. Yes, 14 out of place on file, and can I do that?
You want to leave it in
Keep it
committee?
in committee?
Yeah, 14 will remain in committee, all the others will be placed on file.
Calendar item number 17, communication from John V. Festa, 385 Broadway, requesting the City Council to accept a certain parcel of land for conservation purposes, Lot C, Emmanuel Street, map block and parcel 018-324G-001B.
Any discussion? On the roll.
Shall the City Council accept Lot C, Emmanuel Street for conservation purposes? Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Rotundo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the land described has been accepted. The land described has been accepted. Roll call approved. Yeah.
Roll call.
No, no, no.
Oh, on the roll. It has been accepted. You-
Calendar item number 18, communication from the city auditor relative to the Revere TV invoice payment.
On the motion, all in favor, all opposed, so ordered. Okay. Okay, sorry, we're going to have a roll call.
Shall the city council appropriate $104,072.27 from the Cable Access Receipt Reserve Fund for Revere TV's quarterly invoice? Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Time out. Hold the roll. We got to listen to the auditor. Mr. CFO.
Good evening, everybody. Rich Fiskey, CFO. I think I was watching on TV downstairs. So this is just a normal quarterly appropriation for the cable TV, so I just want to answer any questions if there are any. Thank you.
Such a routine thing, I didn't think we needed a roll call for. But we did. Now, did we have the roll, right? No, we didn't. Okay, on the appropriation, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Janino.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Powers.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Rotundo.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, and Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the appropriation has been approved. Calendar item number 19, communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of Ida Cody to the Retirement Board.
Appointments.
Calendar item number 20, communication from the city auditor relative to the Gibson Park Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Grant.
Mr. CFO.
Good evening, Council. Richard Viskey, CFO, 281 Broadway. I know typically that these appropriations are put into committee. However, we are trying to get this program off the ground. We did receive a grant for $161,516 to help with the impacts of climate change and storm surge at Gibson Park. The grant does require a 25% match, and we are here respectfully asking you for $55,000 to match up with this grant so that we can proceed with these studies, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
We can certainly improve that low amount that doesn't meet the requirement that has to go to committee, so I'm sure we can vote on this. Roll call.
Shall the city council transfer $55,000 from the Community Improvement Trust Fund for the Gibson Park Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Grant? Counselor Janino.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Powers.
Positively.
Yes, Counselor Rotundo.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Sereno.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, and Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the appropriation has been approved. Calendar item number 21, motion presented by Counselor Keefe that the mayor request the DPW to install an illuminated LED crosswalk at the crosswalk currently located at the end of Vane Street at the intersection of Dale Street.
Councilor Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. President. This falls in line with Councilor Morabito's Public Safety Committee Slow Streets program just a little earlier. But as mentioned, Dale Street again had a very fast-moving vehicle that hit a number of cars, took out a fence. Unfortunately, because it was probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, there were no pedestrians that got struck, but they very well could have. And I'm looking to slow down the speeding going up Dale Street. A few years back, there was an island going down Dale Street that has been installed. A lot of people didn't like it, but I gotta be honest, it's probably been one of the best slowing devices we put in the city. So I appreciate the city engineers and architects putting that together. We'd like to have some of that same help going up Dale Street. And maybe this could be a first for the city with some of those flashing slow crosswalk signs. Appreciate your help on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other councilors? On the motion, all in favor, all opposed? So ordered.
Mr. President?
Point of personal privilege for Councilor Keefe.
Thank you again, Mr. President, and for your leeway. Just wanted to give everyone, I wanted to congratulate, as you know, I've been a long-term member of Revere Pop Warner, but also an Eastern Mass board member. This last 2 weeks ago, 4 cheerleading squads competed in the New England Regionals. 5 squads competed. 4 squads will be advancing to Universal Studios, Florida in December to compete in the national championships due to their hard work and efforts. And also this weekend, 2 Revere Pop Warner squads, football, competed in the Eastern Mass State Championships. 2 of those squads beat teams, so The 14U team and the 12U teams will compete in Rhode Island this Saturday and play Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and Englewood or Edgewood, Rhode Island for the New England Regionals. And with a chance, again, there'll be 2 victories away, hopefully, to advance to the national championship. So congratulations to all those squads and the young athletes and the coaching staff and the organizations to take care of those Revere kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Keefe. Councilor Sereno.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, last Monday I meant to take a point of personal privilege, but there was some confusion at the end of the meeting, so I wasn't able to say this last week. But on Thursday, November 11th, our city, the whole country, we commemorated Veterans Day. And as the chair of Veterans Affairs, I just wanted to take a moment to thank the residents of our city who served our nation valiantly. And I hope that everyone who is a veteran did enjoy their Veterans Day. Director Silvestri and the city hosted a nice breakfast at the Hill School that was well attended. And so I just want to say thank you to our community's veterans. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Sereno, and we apologize for the administrative foul-up here. We had 2 people that were supposed to remember, and we didn't. Our apologies. No further business. We are adjourned until the 22nd. What's that? 22nd. Next Monday night. Correct. Huh?